couple of time sensitive things. So, okay, so we are recording. This is our weekly team huddle for the new Hides Nation. I think this is only our second huddle as a nation, which is so exciting. And for just time stamping, it's May 26, 2019. And so my name is Missy Hides, if I haven't yet met you. And tonight what we're going to do on the huddle, I asked actually two leaders to share a little bit of their takeaways from GTC, because we had Mother's Day, we didn't have our team huddle, then we went to GTC and we didn't get a huddle because a lot of us were traveling home from GTC during that. And there's some great content in the posts that people were sharing their takeaways from the training. But I did want you guys to hear just from two people what their takeaways were, just kind of what they left most impacted with. And then I am going to share a little bit on a couple of things tonight. But in regards to GTC, if you didn't yet purchase the virtual package, you can still do that. You have up until I think June 14th for you or anybody on your team to purchase the virtual package. Why that can be valuable at this point, if you're like, GTC's over, I didn't get, or I got the I want it all, or whatever, is because the trainings, they've put them all on a website, and it's virtual.arbonne.com. But and then the videos are going to go on the source, but the only consultants that get access to those videos are people that attended GTC in person or paid for the virtual ticket. And I will tell you that those trainings are absolutely worth the $99. Like, I've gone back and rewatched several of them, and there's ones that I can't wait to watch like a third and fourth time because they were so profound, particularly for me, Carrie Kane's on vision. It was killer. But like Rita Davenport's, the Rachel Hollis, just all of those. So if you have people on your team and they're like, oh, I'm going to wait till they go on the source, they won't be able to access them unless they have the virtual ticket. Okay. And those videos are going to stay available to you until June of next year. No, April of next year, right before GTC of next year, they'll pull them down. So you have a year to use the trainings. I always love trainings like that because you can use those for your own team trainings, for just lots of different things. So wanted to communicate that to you guys. So anyways, the two people that I'm going to have share tonight are Melanie Lee up in Minnesota, and then Edie Meeks here in Louisville, Kentucky. And so Edie, I'm going to have you kick us off first. When you're done, you can just toss it over to Mel. You guys can unmute yourself, but really just ask both of them. I have no idea what they're going to share, but I know whatever they're going to share, it's going to be amazing. But just really to share their, what impacted them the most, what was their greatest takeaway from GTC, what they left with, what they wanted to share with you guys tonight. So Edie, if you would unmute and take it over, I would love that.
All right. Hi, guys. I'm super excited to share with you all tonight. I was in the car, or like all day today traveling. So I was like, oh, I actually have time to kind of prep something for once. So the first thing I just wanted to say was that like every trainer was wonderful. But the cool thing about going to Arbonne conferences and listening to trainings is that just depending on where you are in your business, you hear different things different ways, and who's speaking them to you. So even if you feel like you're hearing the same thing over and over again, just know that you're going to keep getting different things from that every single time. And so this GTC for me was completely different what I got out of it from last year, even though I know I heard some of the same things. So the first thing I wanted to talk about was just a couple of nuggets that Peyton Schneidner said. I just thought they were great. So the first thing that she said was, in order to build a business, we have to build people. That's just a little nugget that I thought was cool. I like that idea a lot because it really is true that as we're building this business, we're building people up and we're helping them be successful. And so she also said, stop withholding this gift from others because you're afraid of their opinions. And that was just also another quote that just kind of like hit me. And so that's not totally what I want to talk about, but I just wanted to throw those two in there because I thought they were super good. But what I really wanted to talk about was this theme that I kept getting for myself, which was own your journey. And it just felt like a lot of people were talking about it, but maybe I just heard it. And the first speaker that kind of talked about owning her journey was Alex Trumbull. And she just kind of started off sharing her journey, and it was not like an easy one. She didn't move super quickly. She lost her area. As soon as she got to area, her area quit. Just kind of a lot of things kept happening in her business, but she just never gave up. And one of the things that she said was, I had no time to be envious and jealous of those who were where I wanted to be, and to love your journey and never doubt that your time to shine will come, because no two journeys are the same. And I think that's really important for us to know, because a lot of times we compare ourselves to other people because we're working with all of these other entrepreneurial women in the same business, and we're all reaching for the same goals for the most part. And it's easy to look around you and think, oh, this girl's going faster than me. Or, you kind of compare yourself to other people sometimes and think that, if she's not as far as you are, then you're in a good spot. Or if they're further ahead, then you need to pick up the pace. And you just don't put those blinders on and move forward and just kind of own your own journey. And so that was one of the speakers that talked about it. And then Rachel Hollis also talked a lot about it, and I have quite a bit from her. But her big thing was like, own your journey and start owning your life and stop trying to rent hers. And kind of her example of that was, she was like, stop going and like researching everybody else's Instagrams like it's your boyfriend's ex-girlfriend. Because a lot of times we will do that. Like I know that I have lost hours of my life just scrolling through other successful people's Instagram. And I have totally told myself like, oh, I'm just looking because, there are other Arbonne consultants or whatever, bloggers or whatever they do. But it's so easy to just get down on yourself when you do that, because you're thinking like, oh, my pictures aren't that good, or gosh, I don't have 20,000 followers, or whatever that is for you. And so it, to me, was just so powerful to hear this over and over again of just own your own journey and stop comparing yourself to everybody else out there. Because somebody needs to hear your Arbonne story someday. Like I needed to hear Alex Trumbull's this past week. So if she wouldn't have gone through that, I wouldn't have had that same impact in hearing all of this. And so someone needs to hear yours. So you need to own it, and you need to be excited about the story you're going to get to share with people when you reach your time to shine. And it's all beautiful, even though it's difficult and hard sometimes. And then let's see. Just want to make sure I got everything in there. Another thing too that Rachel Hollis said that's about that is, she said, every time you look through someone else's business and compare it to yours, you're giving your power away. And the girl didn't even ask for your power. You're just giving it away. And you also gave away any momentum that you had going. Whereas if you just, like they say, keep your blinders on and move forward, you don't have the time to sit around and like start feeling like you're not in a good spot. You can be excited for your own story and where you are in your business, and just trust the process and know that it's going to happen when it's going to happen, as long as you do what you know you need to do. And so I just thought that was really powerful for me personally, and I hope that for some of you it is too. And then the last thing that hit me a lot was also Rachel Hollis saying, what if you were created this way? Because how many of us feel different than other people because we make different decisions than other people, and we want more in life. And it's so easy to be like, you don't deserve that. Like, who are you to think those things about yourself? Like, who are you to want this grand, amazing life? And she just said, what if you were created with those dreams? Like, what if you were created with that extra that some other people don't have? And I think ultimately it's because we're meant to give our extra to other people in the end and be be a blessing for other people in ways that they can't even imagine. But if we don't go for those dreams that have been planted in us, that we were made to have, then we will never have that chance at being who we are called to be. And so it's time to just accept who you are, to own who you are, to own your dreams, and start actually thinking about your dreams and what you want, and go for it, just knowing that you are going to impact other people around you because you are different. And I guess that's basically what I wanted to end on. But I just think ultimately, own your journey, know your story is important, and you are going to bless other people because you decided to take a risk and step out of your comfort zone and do this thing that so many people right now don't understand why you're doing it. And that's okay. They don't have to understand. You can distance yourself from that, and you can keep going forward. And someday they may come around and they may not, but it doesn't matter because of all that you're going to be able to do with your life because you said yes. So that's what I want to say.
That's awesome. That was so good. Loved it. All right, now you're up. If you want to unmute and take it away, I want to hear what you have to say.
Okay. Hi, guys. Well, I'm glad that Edie went first because I did not prepare very much. Like, this is going to be a little bit like off the cuff. But I'm really excited just to share with you guys my takeaways. Edie was totally right where your first year is going to be different than your second or third or whatever. And this was my first experience at GPC. It was my first experience really at like a bigger Arbonne event. I'm 6 months into this. Oh no, my toddler's crying. I better distance myself a little bit more. She can't hear me. So sorry guys, I'm just gonna like grab a chair and sit in my driveway. It's totally fine. So this was my first experience. And everyone was like, oh, are you excited? And I'm like, yeah, yes, I have no idea what to expect. And like, I think I was on the verge of tears pretty much the whole time. One thing I just wanted to share with you guys, and maybe especially for you guys who this is a new thing to you, is that I could cry right now just about the community that we have around us. The massive sisterhood and brotherhood that we have through Arbonne is unlike anything I've ever experienced. Even from the first time walking into the room and finally seeing your beautiful faces in person that I have seen in little boxes via Zoom or whatever. And I just can't describe it. Like, we have such an army of people cheering us on that I just, like, we all, I think just the way that our is structured allows for us to be cheerleaders. Like, it just feels everyone's just standing on our chairs, clapping for one another, cheering us. It's just a little bit, you know, that you could feel so close to 8 people because people may see this. Like, so we travel the world around the same here as it's going to taste in Hong Kong or whatever. It's the same across the globe. And that is kind of actually how Arbonne is, where the vision, the passion, the belief, all of it is consistent across the globe, gathering people from all over the world and having this like-minded vision and passion and belief and hope for your future. And that just from the top.
Hey, Mel, I hate to interrupt, but I think either your Wi-Fi,
like,
can you hear me?
Yeah.
It's Missy.
Oh,
can you,
yep,
I think either your Wi-Fi or your data signal isn't great because it's really I know you're saying amazing things, and I'm like hanging on every word, but it's like,
Here.
so we're missing it.
Is it better? Is this better?
I think so, yeah.
Is this better at all?
I think so.
Okay. So I like literally have no place in my home where a child has no access. So I'm doing my best.
That's awesome.
Outside my house. Okay. So sorry. So I don't know. I think I was just saying like, we hit the jackpot. We completely hit the jackpot when we said yes to Arbonne and we didn't even know what we were getting. And now that we know what we have, so I can't remember who it was. Someone said, how dare you not share it with somebody? And that feels a little bit harsh, but how dare we keep this to ourselves? We have this incredible gift that gives people, gives consultants like the life that they had never even imagined, but then it allows consultants to give and give and give. And the ripple effect of this business is, we can't measure it. And I even like watching Missy walk the stage, I just thought like, okay, like look at the amount of lives that Missy's saying yes and continuing to say yes and continuing to just like be relentless in her pursuit of this vision. Look at how many lives were affected. Okay, now look at the ripple effect of us and all of us holding tight to our vision and continuing on. Think about the ripple effect, and it just continues on and on and on. And I just kept thinking, like, in what universe do I get this kind of opportunity to affect so many lives? And not just through like my sponsorship, but also through, once I'm living this life of abundance, like how can I just give and give and be able to be the person that says, yes, I can help you. Yes, I can give to that. You know, like, I don't know, guys, just like let your vision run wild. Like just think ridiculous things and believe them. Because we are holding, and Debbie Neal has said this, but like we are holding the winning lottery ticket and the price on it is unlimited. And that is exactly what we have. And then we have the ability not only to hold on to that, but to give it away to other people. So let's just like throw it around. I don't know. It's like confetti. That's how I want to throw it around. So that was kind of my biggest, like, I wanted to just tell you guys how blessed we are, because it's unlike anything I've experienced. So I'm super grateful. And that just kind of feeds into my next big thing. My next big takeaway is to start from a place of gratefulness. I think we've heard a lot, and you know what? I missed Saturday. I had to leave early, so I didn't get to hear Rachel Hollis, which is a bummer. And Peyton, I love Peyton, but I'm sure they've touched on this because this kind of seemed to be a theme too, of just starting from a place of gratefulness every day. Gratefulness for where you are at, gratefulness for what is coming because of this vision that you can have. I just think that, starting there empowers us even more to continue to share and share. It's that idea that I just love. I'm going to make this like the theme of my year, of working from favor and not for favor. And because we've been given this gift, now we get to go on and share it. So that was another big thing, is starting from gratefulness. One thing I wrote down, along with the community, is like, you guys, like, I think I have this vision of like MVPs all look like supermodels, and they're just these, I mean, and they all are gorgeous, don't get me wrong, but like, they're also just like people, you know, like these are not Hollywood celebrities that we need to become in order to be national vice presidents. Each of you have exactly what it takes to be a national vice president right now. And you are enough. As you are enough. And so don't let a lie about yourself keep you from limiting your vision. So yeah, I would just encourage you with that. I was like, these are normal people, and I'm a normal kind of weird person. I can do this. This is exciting. So, and then two more things real quick. One thing that I really liked was, do not surrender your why for what feels hard right now. And Ashley Strong said that, and that girl is she is awesome. She is a hard-working girl. But I love that. Don't surrender your why for what feels hard now. I think sometimes what can take us out from winning the day is just like, oh, this feels hard. When really it's not that hard. Like, we're not coal miners, you know, like this isn't that hard. This is asking people, you know, to take a look at this business. It's vulnerable, but it's not hard. And so when you have those moments of like, this feels too hard or too scary, to just think about your why. And that's why we write them down, is to remember our why. Why are we doing this? Like, oh my gosh, my why is so much bigger than what Debbie thinks of me. You know, like, it's just so much bigger. So, sorry, I said Debbie. I do have a Debbie on my team, and she's wonderful. She's a dear friend, and not you, Debbie, different Debbie. So anyways, and then my last thing ties in with exactly how Edie ended it, with this idea of owning it, owning your business, own your story. You are responsible for this, and you have exactly what it takes. Tattooed on my arm, actually, I have a verse from Esther that says, for such a time as this, perhaps for such a time as this, you are made. And I believe that for such a time as this, each of you are made to take hold of this opportunity and to just throw it around like confetti. So that's what I got, Miss.
That's awesome. I love that. It's interesting because the things that I wanted to share, both of you kind of touched on it. So I always love when that happens, because then I'm like, ooh, kind of like confirmation that we're sharing the same things. But I love that. And yeah, it is such an awesome thing. Anytime that we can gather with other Arbonne consultants, there's just this sense of fun and togetherness that it is hard to describe. And so start planning for the next GTC. It's next April. We understand that there's always a sacrifice and a cost involved, but it is always above and beyond and worth it. And so what I want to share here in the next just couple minutes is I was really thinking about what I wanted to, where we're at this point of our businesses, of our team, of what I really see coming for us. And I kept getting this sense of we're moving into a new season. We're moving into like and I think I have shared this with you guys before, but when we promoted to nation, in many ways, I felt like we were breaking through a barrier, a belief barrier, a vision barrier, is this really possible for us? And I felt like we kind of broke through that to start this new thing. And today, I don't know if this happens. I think it happens to you guys. I think I've heard you say this, that like when we go to church on a Sunday, we get a sermon and we're like, was that for me? Just me this morning in my business? And so I want to share a verse, and it's funny because I had it on my vision board. I had this written on my vision board that I put together either at the beginning of this year or kind of towards the end of last year. And this is what it says. It says, forget about what's happened. Don't keep going over old history. Be alert, be present. I'm about to do something new. It's bursting out. Can't you see it? There it is. I'm making a road through the desert. I'm making rivers in dry places. And so what that, and why I'm sharing that with you guys, is because I believe that we as a team are moving into our next chapter, our next season. And I wanted to share a picture with you guys. I shared this with, this is what I made the Zoom post about, but I want to show you guys this picture, and I want to talk about it for a minute. So this picture right here, for those of you that don't know, this is Lisa Voorhees, and Lisa Voorhees started her business about 20 years ago, and she's got a great story. She's an incredible lady, and she is an executive national vice president. And this lady right here is Dr. Deanna Holdren, who then went on to sponsor Linda Hefner, who we are connected to. I'm right there. Lisa also sponsored a lady named Lavelle Augustine, who went on to sponsor Shanna Morante. And from these few ladies, this is a picture of a portion. This actually does not include. Everybody in this picture is a VP in Arbonne. Okay, everybody is an RVP or an NVP. This is not just teams. These are VPs representing teams. So we have our own Lori Huffman. We have our own Fallon and Amy Gills in the back there, and then I'm over here. And so as I looked at this picture, and what I wanted to share with you guys tonight is I want us as a team, first of all, to start to get a vision of this is what there's 20 of us here on the call. This is what we're creating, okay? This is what we're creating. This is not a team of consultants. This is a team of VPs who represent consultants and their teams. And this is the new thing that I believe that we are stepping into. I believe that we are stepping into our next season where this is actually going to happen at an exponential rate. In an exponential way, in an unexplainable way, in a way that will seem like an all of a sudden, where did all of this come from? But it's been planted, it's been being planted for a long time. And then here's the thing I want to really stretch you guys on, is I want you each to envision that you're the Lisa in this picture. And this is your success line, downline of VPs. That you are the Lisa who has a multi-million-dollar success line per month. She's in the $1 million club per month, means her success line does $1 million or more in sales every month. Normal, fun, loving, pint-sized little Lisa here, right? And so I'm asking all of us, and that's what we're going to talk about here in the next few minutes, is elevating our vision and elevating our belief, because the new thing that I believe that we are being called to is not that we're building big teams of consultants, but we're building big teams of VPs. Because when we have big teams of VPs, you have the resources, you have the time to start to really make those impacts that the girls talked about just a few minutes ago. And so if you want to print this picture off, this is, you can, there have been times, you guys, when I have made vision boards and I have printed off pictures and then I've like taken my face and glued it on top of other people's faces. So when I look at the picture, I'm seeing myself. But I want you guys to get a vision, because here's the thing. Lisa didn't know one person here when she said yes to Arbonne. Not one person. She didn't meet Deanna until she was probably 2 years into her business. I don't even know how she met Lavelle. And Lavelle, right here, who sponsored Shanna, she lives in Florida. She lives up in New York. And there's like 6 or 7 consultants in between them. Okay? So you have to understand that you're going to look back one day and you're going to have a picture like this and you're going to say, I didn't know any of these people when I started. But you saw them before you saw them. And that's the vision that we hold as leaders. That is what we need to carry with us when we are sharing this, like Edie said, with everyone, that everyone deserves this opportunity. And so this is the new thing. This is the new vision. This is the kind of the target that I really feel called to, that I feel that we are stepping into as a team. And so we're going to do this in 2 ways. Okay, we're going to do this in 2 ways. Because this kind of growth, I guess I'll leave this picture up. It's a good picture. This kind of growth, this kind of, advancement or expansion of a business doesn't happen without intention. And really how I felt when I was thinking about this and praying about, like, okay, so I see that this is the next season, the next chapter, the next phase, but how are we going to do this? And really the 2 things that I believe it's coming down to is, the first one is that we all have to get a vision that's way bigger than us. And our dreams need to include more than ourselves. So when you're thinking about what Arbonne means to you, what you're working for, how this is going to make an impact, if it doesn't yet include outside of your own household, your own checking account, your own debt, your own time, then I'm going to ask you tonight to spend some time stretching it, expanding those tent pegs and saying, my influence is going to be greater than just what this is going to do for myself or my immediate family or my immediate needs. Because when we share Arbonne with people, when we share our vision with them, when we share what we see, it has to make room for them, or they won't see themselves in your business. They won't see themselves as a VP in your business if your business is only benefiting you and your household and your finances and your time, right? So if you're like, I've never thought about how this is gonna like be bigger, really start. What are the things that tug at your heart? When I listened to something a couple of weeks ago, and the guy was talking about financial success, and he said, I believe that we are living in financial success or financial abundance or kind of financial freedom when something passes across our plate or across us, you know, in front of us, and it tugs at our heart, we have the means to help. That's when we're living in a place of financial abundance or financial freedom. So what are the things that tug at your heart? What are the things that when you see it, it kind of makes you like, ooh, gonna cry a little bit? What are the things that you think about and you're like, oh, I wish I could make a difference? For a lot of it, it's related to people, whether it's little people or old people or people that don't have families, you know, kids that live in foreign countries, kids that live right here in your backyard. Who are those people that you want to help? What are those causes? What are those organizations? What are those places that need finances, that need people to give up their time? And so we, as a team, as a Hides Nation, soon to be a nation of nations, I'm going to ask you guys, I'm challenging myself to get bigger on what I believe is possible, not in 20 years, but what I believe is possible in the next 12 months, what I believe is possible in the next 36 months, right? Because those are the things that are going to cause our courage to rise, that are going to make us more, you know, if I have this vision that's way bigger than me, it's going to take away the excuses of like, oh, I don't know if I should say anything. Because guess what? It's not about me. It's about them. It helps us move past those things that keep us stuck or in fear or nervous of the rejection, right? And so I just want to ask you guys to do this with me, to really, so that if I send you a message or I send you a text and I say, tell me about your vision. What's your vision include? How is it bigger than your family? How is it bigger than yourself? How is it bigger than your own checking account or your own needs? Who else is it encompassing? Get it as specific as possible. Get it, you know, some of the things, and I think one of the reasons why the Carrie Kane training was so impactful for me was at the end, she showed a video of 3 or 4 different people from her team that they started Arbonne because of one thing, and now because they've built it to the VP level, they're doing a ton of other things. And one of them was her mom, and her mom had 5 children, raised them, has now like 20 or 21 grandchildren. She's 62 or 64 years old. She's a new national vice president. And because of how she feels so good and full of energy with Arbonne, and because of the finances, her and her husband are in the process of adopting a sibling group of 4 kids that are ages like 4 to 12. The world needs us, you guys, to step up and to step into those places of need. And we can't do that if our vision is only for ourselves or for what we can see, okay? So one of those things is, I have told you guys, maybe I haven't, but I was sharing this at GTC, that I believe that by the end of this year that we're gonna have a VP team of 8, me plus 8. I think that's 8 or 9, I can't remember. I think it's 8, right? So I was thinking today, if I can see that, then I need to stretch that belief, because people can get to VP by the end of this year if they sign up today. It's been done before, it's been done a lot of times, so if it's been done once, it can be done again, right? So I'm challenging myself to believe for 12. Me plus 12. that we will be a team, or me and, I can't remember what the number was, but it's 12. Because I can't see those other 3 or 4. I don't know where they're coming from. But that's what vision is about. It's believing for the things that we can't yet see. Because if we can see it and we can understand it or wrap our mind around it, it's not really stretching us, right? It's not making us extend ourselves out further, right? So that's the first thing. The second way that we're going to grow this is that we're going to continue to be rooted and grounded in operating these businesses, growing these businesses, living out our lives out of the position of knowing who we are, knowing that you are so loved, knowing, like Mel said, that you already possess the favor. You work from favor. You don't work for favor. Knowing that you're approved of. You're not working for approval. Knowing that you're already enough. Knowing that you're already accepted, right? And when we operate and we work out of that, and then we teach our new consultants to operate out of that, you guys, this business grows exponentially. Because the things I believe that keep most people stuck is that they get stuck in the doing of the how-tos, because it's coming from this, I don't know if I can, I don't know if I'm worthy, I don't know if I'm good enough, I think they're going to reject me, what are they going to think about me, right? So we have to shore up the identity of who we are, and when we shore those things up, these how-tos just flow very naturally and attractively out of that. And so I'm not asking you guys to be a counselor to your new consultants. I'm not asking you to take on things that you're like, I'm not really equipped to teach identity to people. You might not be, but what you are equipped to do is you're equipped and able to tell every person that you share this business with that they're loved, that there's a place for them, that they can absolutely soar in this business, that they have everything that is required to become a national vice president. You can say those things to people, and you can tell them that every day, and you can remind them of that every day, and what it does, what it has done until this point, and why this team is flourishing is because we're doing that. And we're going to continue to do it, and we're going to continue to get better at it, because you guys, I believe we are going to become a team that's like this. All of a sudden, Arbonne's going to be like, where did they all come from? And they're going to want to know our secret, and our secret is going to be, we just loved people really well. And we told them who they were, and we operated out of that. Okay, so those are the 2 things that I'm going to ask you guys to really hone in on. Get your vision bigger. Get your dreams encompassing other people's dreams, right? Think of some of your best friends. What are the things that they need in their life? They might not do Arbonne, but maybe they want to adopt a baby. Maybe they need help with their debt. Maybe they have a sick parent that they'd love to go see more. Maybe they're never going to do Arbonne, but because you get your vision bigger, you get to be the benefactor for them. You get to start being the supplier of the finances to pay for your best friend to go fly home and see their parent or their grandparent or somebody significant to them. That's what we get to do with this business. And when we start to live like that, this picture becomes your reality. Okay? So what we're going to focus on, we're obviously moving into close for the month. There is a week left. I cannot wait to see what we are going to do. I see no sense in slowing down on any level, right? And so we're going to finish this month strong, and I'm going to be using the Facebook team page to make posts about the kind of the semantics, the how-tos, what do we want to be focusing on. We got a new 30-day group starting next Monday, so this is the week to be getting those orders in. We're going to be talking about all those things. But big picture, how does what I just talked about, because that's like, well, that's awesome, Missy, but that's not really like, that's not the practicalness of this business. So now I'm going to give you guys the practicalness. And so the practicalness, the focus for these next 90 to 120 days is going to be sponsoring to build areas. Because here's the thing. You want to become a national vice president, you go build 8 areas. That's it. You go help 8 people get to area manager level, and you can ask the top 10 NVPs in Arbonne, and they will say cumulatively that brings in roughly the sales and the people that you need to become a national vice president. So can you believe that between now and the end of this year that you could help 8 people become an area managers? Yes. So guess what? That means between now and the end of the year, wherever you're at in your business, you could be a national vice president, right? Because I just broke it down how you can do that in a very tangible and realistic way. Helping people get to area manager, you guys, is where most people start to get their initial dreams and needs met with this business. That's where you get that comment in the paycheck. That's where you feel like, okay, I'm kind of in a groove with this business. I understand how this is working. I'm helping people. I'm teaching. I'm leading. I'm learning, right? Is that area manager. And so we're going to be focusing on growing areas over the next 120 days. We're going to be doing prizes and incentives and fun things around that focus, because what helping people get to area manager means is that you're sharing this business with a lot of people, and you're teaching them to share this business with a whole lot of people, which is what ultimately you guys changes people's lives, right? That's what we're doing. And so really excited about that. I think there's some great trainings that I'm going to share on the team page, because the thing is, you guys, when we take care of the people, just like I think EDU said, in order to build the business, Peyton said, in order to build the business, we have to build people. When we sponsor people, when we focus on partnering and loving and serving and teaching people, the QV, the sales, takes care of itself. And too often in Arbonne, that gets flipped around. Too often people focus on, I just need 2,000 in sales, I just need 6,000 in sales, and they go kind of nutso on the product, and they're not building the team, they're not building the network, they're not sponsoring, which your sponsoring is what indicates next month's business, not your sales, right? So we are going to be a team that focuses really intentionally on sponsoring, and we're bringing them into what you just heard about, a community and a culture and a place where they're going to be loved, where they're going to be accepted, where they're going to be just fostered in this place where they can flourish. Who doesn't want that? Who doesn't want to be invited into community like that, right? And so you can confidently go share this with people, because you know what you're bringing them into is so going to be a blessing for their life. It's so going to benefit their life. And if they come in and you're like, they came in and they haven't done anything in the 90 days, they didn't get to area, it doesn't matter. Their life is better because you introduced them to Arbonne. I am unashamed in my conviction that everyone that interacts with me and Arbonne is better because of it. They get added to because of this business and because of me. They get nothing taken from them, and they lose nothing. They only gain. So why wouldn't I share this with every single person that I see and have the opportunity to share it with? And you guys, it's the same for you. Every single person that you encounter, that you engage with, that you have conversation with, that you listen to, you're adding to them. You're making deposits into them that might change their life now, or it might not change their life for 5 years. I met with a gal, this last thing I'm going to share. She reached out to me before we went to GTC. We met the morning of GTC. I met her 5 years ago when I was getting my nails done for my car party, for my RVP party. She reached out to me 5 years later and said, we need to talk. And she took me to coffee and she said, I need you to tell me how to do this business. I made a deposit 60 months ago. I made a deposit 5 years ago. It wasn't the right time for her. And I will tell you, I haven't consistently prospected her for 5 years. We are friends on Facebook. She sees a small smattering of my life. But she knew when she needed a change and she needed to replace income that she was making somewhere else, that this was the opportunity. And so you never know when the deposits you're putting into people are going to be the deposits that they need to change their life. Okay, so that's the vision. That's what we're running for. That's what we're carrying that responsibility, because I believe that there is now a duty in a really great way on us to show the world around us, and even to show people within Arbonne what is possible when we expand our vision. We carry a really big vision, and we work from this place of just loving people and speaking to who they are. Okay, so that's what I wanted to share tonight. Does anybody have any questions, comments before we hop off? I hope you guys are so pumped. I'm so pumped for you. Like, so half the time I can't even sleep. Sonny's like, are you gonna sleep? I'm like, I'm not gonna sleep. I mean, I am sleeping. But because here's the thing, I look at you guys all and I'm like, there's 20 VPs that are just gonna pop here. And the thing is, there's not, like, we are in the right place at the right time, and this team is in the right place at the right time. And I can't communicate that enough to you guys. There is a level of favor, and there is a level of just awesomeness coming, and every one of your businesses get to be a part of that. So believe that it is true for you. Start putting pictures of Mercedes up all over your house. Make your screensaver a Mercedes. I'm serious, like, become the obsessed, crazy person. Just test me in this. Test me in this. For 120 days, be really obsessed with Arbonne, and then in 120 days be like, Missy, it didn't work. My business isn't any farther. And I'm going to say, liar. It is better. It is better. There's no one that has ever jumped in and gotten kind of obsessed and put the pictures up and made the declarations and spoken, I am doing these things and I am this person, that hasn't advanced their business to that place. There's not one person. So you get to decide it, and you have the team behind you. You have the resources in place to do it. So just go do it, because here's the thing, you guys, I can't probably even tell you what me promoting to MVP has done for all the people in my life that aren't in Arbonne. But all the messages that I've gotten that, like, I'm so inspired by you. I'm so, like, you've done ... whatever. And all it's doing is not praising me, but it's depositing courage into them that they can go do it. Because like Mel said, I'm that normal person that they know. And they see a normal person who has stayed committed to a dream and a goal, accomplish it. So what it tells them is they can have that same thing in their life, whether it's in or out of Arbonne. And you go get to do that for your market and your family and your friends and the people that you've been given opportunity to influence and love. Okay? All right. Love you guys so much. Let's make it a killer close week. We've got some new VPs coming, new areas coming. I cannot wait. Not wait. Ashley, I'm giving you a big shout out, girl. You're going area this week. She's like, Missy, there's so much pressure when you do that. It's good pressure, sister. It's good pressure. Megan Rican is working to finish region. So exciting. All right. Love you all so much. Have a great night.